And now, from 12 Studios, this is News 12 Now.
Today is Monday, September 9th. Welcome to News 12 Now. I'm Kylee Dedmon. Well, new this afternoon, a man is charged with murder in Pontotoc County 6 years after a shooting where he claimed self-defense. 26-year-old Zachary Perkins of Ada was arrested this week on second-degree murder for the October 2018 death of 20-year-old Jonathan Pinion. Perkins claimed he and Pinion were arguing at a home in Bing and said he shot Pinion after he pointed a gun at him. Perkins was arrested after a large-scale manhunt following the shooting, but was released without being charged. We'll have more tonight on why authorities are now charging Perkins. And a second suspect has been arrested in connection to the 2023 murder of Jacob Washington from Seminole. The Seminole Nation Lighthorse Police announced that John Nolt III turned himself in on Saturday. He's being held on charges of conspiracy, accessory to felony, arson, and destroying evidence. Washington's body was found dumped on a Seminole County road 3 days after he was last seen leaving his job in May of last year. 2 weeks ago, his father, John Nolt II, was arrested in connection to the death of Washington. No word on how authorities linked the Nolts to the murder. 4 people are in custody in connection with the double homicide in Wynnewood. 62-year-old Danny Daniel, 39-year-old Destiny Dahlstead, and their dog were found shot to death in their home in late May. The OSBI says an investigation led them to 4 people that you see on your screen. Charges are pending in Garvin County. And 41 people have been arrested in a recent Oklahoma City prostitution sting. According to OKC police, 37 vehicles were impounded and meth and marijuana were also seized. One person arrested arrived with a toddler and has been booked on an additional child neglect charge. The department says this was a successful joint operation with the Oklahoma Attorney General's office to fight human trafficking.
And it was another chilly morning across Texoma. Temperatures were able to fall into the 40s for several of us, really, which looks a little bit more like October than early September. Either way, it felt like fall, no matter where you were in Texoma. And that's the thing, it was because of the clear skies and dry air that we have in place. So now that the sun is out, it kind of works on the flip side where we are warming up quickly. A lot of locations in the upper 70s to lower 80s. So that's the thing, even though some of us dipped into the 40s, the low moisture content in the air is just making for some big temperature swings. This is not going to last too long, and we're already on our way actually to another warming trend here with those temperatures on the increase. So we are already into false fall, and yeah, we are going to be on our way to a second summer here in the not too distant future because well, we have a tropical system on our hands. It actually is a tropical storm now. So that will be indirectly influencing our weather here as we go forward. We've got one more chilly morning on the way, though, as we head into tomorrow. And we're going to give you the latest on the tropics and when it will get hot once again here in Texoma. Until then, though, back to you, Kylie.
All right, thank you, Brian. A new Texas law is now in effect, but some parts of it are blocked after a judge considered them unconstitutional. The SCOPE Act aims to protect children online from harmful content. Lorena Rivas spoke to an East Texas lawmaker that co-authored the bill and the group that's suing this law.
We have a right and a place to put safeguards and limits in place for minors.
State Representative Cole Hefner of Mount Pleasant co-authored House Bill 18. A legislation that aims to protect children from harmful content on social media.
We've seen body shaming, cyberbullying, things that lead to kids harming themselves or others, or even suicide and things like that. We've seen the increase of that as social media has evolved.
Under the SCOPE Act, social media companies are required to provide parents access to their child's account if requested, and to allow them to supervise how it's being used.
And we want to empower parents. We want to give parents the tools to have those controls on what content their kids are absorbing.
But one part of this new law is not going into effect after being considered unconstitutional. It would have forced social media companies to filter out harmful content.
Impose censorship first and to ask questions later. And we think that's the wrong approach.
Bob Kornrevier is the chief counsel of the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expressions. The free speech advocacy group is suing on behalf of 4 plaintiffs that argue this law would block them from getting vital information.
Law imposes the state's judgment about what information people ought to see, including young people. So mental health information, for example, is something that would be affected by this law.
He also says despite age, minors have First Amendment rights, something Hefner also agrees with, but believes certain safety measures should still be put into place.
We want to be careful that we don't restrict that free speech, but on the other hand, we want to keep up with technology so that we're protecting people's personal data, protecting minors from that harmful content.
That was Lorena Rivas reporting. The SCOPE Act is facing 2 lawsuits, one from the Free Speech and Advocacy Group and the other one from tech groups that have members like Meta, X, and Google. Attorney General Ken Paxton is named as a defendant in both lawsuits. Well, the Southern Oklahoma Library System is collaborating with the National Voter Registration Day Coalition to boost voter participation. During the month of September, residents can stop by any of the Southern Oklahoma libraries and get registered to vote. Director Gail Ayler says your vote allows your voice to be heard and could make a difference in your community.
It's our duty to help people recognize the importance of voting, especially locally, and everybody has that responsibility, and I think the more we can help them understand that, the more they'll be willing to do so.
The process takes only a few minutes. Stop by any Southern Oklahoma Library branch this month if you need to register. Well, it's back from summer break and back to work for Congress today. Congress is expected to return ready to battle over one of the biggest fiscal concerns, federal spending. Congress needs to find agreement by September 30th or face a government shutdown by October 1st. Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson says they'll agree to a 6-month extension to March 28th if Democrats agree to proof of citizenship for a national bill on voting. Former President Donald Trump says he favors a shutdown if Republicans don't get new voter registration rules. Democrats in the Senate are balking at new voter rules, and some Republican senators don't want a 6-month bill. Republicans may also fight for 12 separate appropriation bills on 12 separate areas of government. Well, the candidates are engaged in last-minute preps ahead of tomorrow's first and potentially only presidential debate. Nicole Sanka has more details from Washington, D.C.
Vice President Kamala Harris took a break from debate prep Sunday afternoon for a walk with her husband.
Are you ready, Madam Vice President?
Ready. Harris has more mock debates planned today. Sources say she'll try to focus on policy issues, but she's prepared for any personal attacks from former President Donald Trump.
There's no floor for him in terms of how low he will go. And we should be prepared for that. We should be prepared for the fact that he is not burdened by telling the truth.
Trump campaigned in Wisconsin over the weekend and slammed Harris and President Joe Biden.
We're run by stupid people. Stupid people. And we found that out at the debate with Joe. How did that work out? And we're going to find it out again on Tuesday night. Is anybody going to be watching?
Trump says he doesn't need much debate prep because he claims he's been preparing his whole life.
The stakes for the debate are sky high, with the latest CBS News polling showing the 2 candidates running neck and neck in 3 battleground states.
The 2 candidates are in a statistical tie in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, states that will help determine the next president. Supporters of both candidates say the debate is important.
Are you planning to watch the debate next?
Oh, yeah. Yep, I got the popcorn already.
I think it's pretty important for her to do well, and I think she will. She's a really strong debater.
Harris and Trump will be traveling later today to get closer to tomorrow's debate site. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, Washington.
Thank you for watching today's News 12 Now. Make sure to subscribe so you find out why Texoma turns to us. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where you'll see more social media exclusive content. Want more News 12 Now? Watch us live every weekday through the KXII app on your phone or TV and through our website.